It's Canceled Car Tuesday, and we are here today to review Seth Freewheel and Katie Ringmanifold, and I am super excited to get into the review of both these amazingly unique cars that unfortunately never got released. But before we get into it, we have a matter of business to conduct. So are we going to make Canceled Cars Tuesday an official thing here on the Disney Docket channel? A couple weeks ago on the Tuesday, I reviewed Josh Coolant, another canceled car that did actually get released finally. And so I was thinking, why not make this kind of an official series on my channel? I put another canceled car review on my schedule for a future Tuesday, which you can check out in the About section of my channel. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, do you want to see more canceled car reviews? I do have quite a few, and I'd love to delve deeply into the backstory, the releases that never came to be. I just love canceled cars and would love to share with you guys my knowledge about them. So yeah, leave your thoughts down below. But without any more rambling, we're going to get right into the review here of this 2-pack. Yes, it is a 2-pack that got canceled in 2017. So that's right, back in 2017, these two extremely unique cars were canceled because of the onslaught of Cars 3. So essentially, like Mattel did with Cars 1 and Cars 2 in 2010, they bit off too many releases than they could chew, and unfortunately had to cancel a whole bunch. Now, fortunately, they didn't have to cancel as many as they did after Cars 1 and leading into Cars 2. They canceled like 10 haulers and about 20 other cars. Now, though, when Cars 3 came along, they only canceled around 15. So really not too bad, but still very disappointing that we didn't get to see some of these come to fruition. Now, I also want to mention that we are kind of assuming that their names are Seth and Katie because of the fact that there was a Walmart listing back in 2017 that had those two names together for a 2-pack. And there was no picture or anything like that. There was no stock image ever of these two cars. But we saw them, like a year or so, maybe not even that much later, pop up on eBay from China. And so, us collectors here are thinking, well, it makes sense that these two would go along with those two names because there's nobody else to match them. And, those names definitely make sense. This look like a Katie to me, and that looks like a Seth to me. I wouldn't see it any other way now. But I did want to let you know that those are assumptions. It's not really confirmed that that's their names. Unlike with Eric Wheely over here, who his Walmart listing actually had a picture of him. So we know for sure this here is Eric Wheely. And this is another canceled car, by the way. So that's a little bit of the history about them. Most likely they were going to be in the World Grand Prix fan series just because that just makes the most sense. They released a lot of Porto Corsa cars in that series in 2017. But it was a weird year. Mattel came out with a lot of just very niche series like World Grand Prix Reporters and some new series like London Chase. So I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with like a waterfront or like a yacht type of series, something like that, because we know that Eric Wheely was supposed to be released and he appears in the same scene as these two, which leads me to their appearance in Cars 2. So it was in Porto Corsa, and they are kind of there on the yacht scene. They aren't next to each other. I believe Seth is on one of the yachts, while Katie is up a little bit toward the front lines of the race. She's a little bit closer. I don't think she's on a boat or anything like that, but still a phenomenal 2-pack, two amazing cars. Maybe not the two I would have picked, maybe not Seth, but I definitely would have taken Katie because that flower hat on her is just phenomenal. I kind of like to call this 2-pack the you can't see my eyes 2-pack because literally both of their eyes are pretty hidden there, but we'll kind of dive deep into them and discover what they actually look like. All right, so I think that's all the background we really need on them. We're going to start here with the review of Seth. So here's a Maserati, which we've gotten a ton of in the past. I will do some comparisons in a couple moments here. So it's not like Mattel ran into technical problems with him because, they've done Maseratis, a million times before, and they really just needed to add this sunglasses piece here, which is what makes him so cool. Now, this sunglasses piece here, the shades here, are very, to me, like 1980s retro futuristic to me because a lot of, people, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but it was very common to see back in the 80s, people with these just kind of straight across, very rectangular sunglasses that look very futuristic and like they're from space, but really, not futuristic. So they aren't really too popular now, but you could see somebody with wealth, a lot of these Porto Corsa cars are very rich and wealthy. So they have a lot of unique things about them. Like, for example, Seth, has the sunglasses. Kathy has the flower hat, and we'll take a look at these two in a couple moments here that they actually did get released back in 2014. And, she's got those glasses. She's got this flower hat here. So definitely, some wealthy cars here on the scene. Now, it is possible that Mattel lost the Ferrari, or not the Ferrari. They did lose Ferrari license, but it's also possible that they lost Maserati. At the time, we thought that until Antonio Veloce Excelente got a re-release. So that's off the table, and he did actually get canceled for Cars 3 reasons. So you can see the Maserati logo there in the grille, looking nice and clean. Seth's got a little grin, not too much though. Headlights are looking very realistic. The rims are just pretty basic, the same that we've seen on all previous Maseratis. We got the typical kind of 3 rectangular logo there with the yellow dot. That's on also all the Maseratis. 2-door sedan. Very luxurious car if you guys don't know Maseratis. License plate is 75R space VT space 2A. Now trying to decipher what this possibly means. I really have no idea. VT, Vinyl Toupe. Maybe it's the owner of Vinyl Toupe. Who knows? I honestly have no idea. What if it's like 75, like crusty rotor, like rotor? I don't know, 2A. I have no idea. VT, though, definitely makes me think of Vinyl Toupe. Most likely it's just random, though. There are the exhaust pipes there. 2 little on each side. Taillights looking good. Now, I did want to point out, all canceled cars are inherently prototypes because they never got released in their samples. So these are prototypes, but not all prototypes are canceled cars because there can be a prototype of Lightning McQueen, and we all know McQueen got released. In fact, there's a prototype for literally every car they make, at least one, probably more than that. But one indicator of a car being a prototype is if it's missing the white date stamp on the bottom. So like with Fabrizio here, you can see very clearly there's a white stamp right there indicating the date it was made. Now, Thailand has these too. They're different from the Chinese ones, so they're harder to read. Actually, the Chinese ones are harder to read than the Thailand ones, as I've talked about before in previous videos. But either way, Thailand or China, doesn't matter. If it's not there, it's likely a prototype. However, there are some cases where if it's not there, it still can be a release. Like back, especially early on in the cars line, some of them did not have the date stamp, but they still are most definitely not prototypes. But anyway, you can see all the other correct markings like at Disney Pixar or copyright Disney Pixar made in China. And then some codes down here, Mattel. Very detailed base, you can see a lot of the moving parts. So very nicely done. Now let's compare them to a couple other Maseratis. In fact, all of the ones that Mattel released. So here's Bindo, the most recent new Maserati. They haven't released a new one since Bindo. And now, for some reason, Seth is ginormous. Like, as you can see, they're both Maseratis, but Seth is quite a bit bigger. He's noticeably thicker, as one may say. He's longer by a fair amount. He's taller, and he's just got more girth to him, you know what I'm saying? It's so noticeable, and I don't understand why they did this. It's very strange to me, but I don't know. Is it more accurate? What do you guys think? Are Maseratis this big? I don't really see too many of them. I would have to say, I don't know. I feel like they are kind of big because they are sedans, they're 2-door. Another interesting detail is that all the Maseratis released before had mouth plates here, so the front piece is a plastic addition, not attached. Well, it's attached, but it's not part of the main body here. Whereas with Seth, this is a full piece. So Seth is a brand new model. He's bigger and he's a unibody. So I definitely think that it would have been a popular release if he did get released because he's, a bigger Maserati, a better Maserati. He's got sunglasses. But you can see a lot of the other features are the same, like the taillights, the exhaust pipes, the rims, and that 3 rectangular logo there, and the crown in the grill. So that's Bindo. We got Carlo Maserati, who was released pretty much the same time as Bindo, but just a little bit sooner, about 6 months. He was released in 2010, very late. No, 2011, very late. And Bindo got released early in 2012. I never found him though. 2012 was the worst year of collecting for me personally because just the cars were so hard to find. So you can see very similar there. Difference between Carlo and Bindo, the grills are quite a bit different. You know, you have one just blacked out entirely silver, and then this one and Seth are more detailed. And they look a little bit more realistic, having the black in there. Carlo has the fishbowl license plate, so apparently he's actually a member of the Lemon family. The Pacers, to be exact, because literally almost all the Pacers have that license plate too. Don't quite understand how that happened. Plus, it's an American license plate, and Carlo appeared in Porto Corsa. I don't understand Mattel. Does anybody, though? No. Moving on to the classic Maseratis that we know much more about. Antonio Veloce Excelente and Constanza della Corsa. Constanza is definitely my favorite. I just love his expression in the green, whereas Antonio has the most terrible expression I've ever seen. But yeah, these were released a long time ago in 2010, and both have received re-releases, lenticular releases, so they are not too hard to obtain. So the grills are a little bit different from Seth's. For some reason, Constanza over here doesn't have the yellow dot painted. And because they both are American, they have American license plates. And this is back when Mattel was very detail-oriented, so you can see they actually changed the license plate by 1 digit. Good going on Mattel. Also, you can see the silver lining around the windows here. A little bit there as well. But Seth actually has black outlines. So that's it for the Maseratis. Before we move on to Cathie, though, I do want to show you guys, his eyes. They're there. Just like Fabrizio, you can see Fabrizio's are even harder to see because his sunglasses are pretty much the entire windshield, even though they are there. Seth's are a little bit easier to see. All right. Let's move on to Cathie here, who is my favorite of the two, and I feel like a lot of people will agree. But let me know in the comments, do you prefer Seth or Cathie? Cathie just is so unique with this flower hat. I mean, it is so just, I don't know how to describe it, just elegant. Who else has a flower hat like that in the Cars universe? So I'm so happy to, be able to have this canceled car, but also disappointed at the same time that she didn't get a mass release. She's extremely rare. At the time I'm recording this, though, you can actually buy both of these for around $700 on eBay. And I'd actually say that's a pretty fair price. Seth is a little bit easier to obtain than Cathie, though. Just wanted to point that out. But still, though, they pretty much should have been made in equal quantities because they were supposed to be in a 2-pack. But, just based on how supply and demand worked out and availability, I guess, Cathie turned out to be a little bit rarer. But anyways, Cathie is an Alfa Romeo, so we will compare her to the 3 other Alfa Romeos in a second. She appears to be a different model from them as well. But looking at her expression, I really do like it. She's smiling. She's happy under that flower hat there, giving her some nice shade. We have the Alfa Romeo logo there on her hood. Some headlights with a nice little kind of caved out look to them. Her tires here have some details on them. Yo-Yo tread. I don't think we've seen that brand of tire before, so that's new. And you also have that kind of white pinstripe on the tire and some intricate wheels there. Got a little side reflector light there. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's the gas cap's back here. I don't know what that is. Just some sort of bolt. Door handles painted. So even though these are technically prototypes, they are finished. They're, completely done, and they're very, very well done. I'm very fortunate to have both of these in good condition because a lot of canceled cars are, not in good condition. Now let's just take a moment of silence to appreciate this flower hat. So it's made of plastic, and these top pieces right here are kind of soft rubber, so you can kind of move them around. But if you do have a Kathy, I wouldn't recommend twisting them because they probably could fall off. But yeah, this is just beautiful here. I love it. It's of course probably like the top of a flower, and the rest of these are kind of like the petals. Just an extremely just elegant and intricate hat that I'm sure cost her a ton of money. On the back here, we can see her bumper there, the silver details, taillights, and her license plate, which reads LR58GYI. Now, again, don't know what the license plate stands for. I really wish I could decipher these. I should do some history. Maybe the R stands for Ringmanifold. Maybe 58 was the year that this Alfa Romeo was made. GYI, though, or GY1. Not a slightest clue. Don't know what the L means. So very strange there. Let me know if you guys have any ideas, though. And here is her base, similar to Seth's. All right. Let's compare her to a couple other Alfa Romeos, all of the Alfa Romeos. The first one that ever got released was Giuseppe Motorisi, Francesco Bernoulli's crew chief. And right off the bat, you can see they are different models. This makes a little bit more sense because there are different models of Alfa Romeos. But for the Maserati, that is a standard model. And I just wouldn't expect one to be so much bigger than the other. I guess it's like a deluxe Maserati. But anyway, so Giuseppe has a moth plate here. Giuseppe's been released, multiple times. Very easy to find. Released now from Thailand too. He also has this vinyl top, so he's likely a convertible. Kathy might be too. We just don't know because it's covered up with the flower hat. They do have very similar, designs and stuff with the silver details on the bumper. Giuseppe doesn't even have a license plate though, so he's kind of driving illegally. Gas cap's in the same spot. Giuseppe has side view mirrors. Kathy does. They're just hidden there. You can see one there, and then I don't even think she has one on the right side. No, she doesn't. So that's a little interesting, but some cars only have it on one side. Moving on to Kareem Cabbie here. So she has two side view mirrors. I guess it just would be tough to put that one there because of the flower hat. So Kareem Cabbie was released in a 2-pack in 2014 with this flower, or this just regular hat car. And they also appeared in Porto Corsa. So you can see all three of them have the Alfa Romeo design. However, Kathy's here is actually a decal, meaning it's not, engraved or raised off the paint. Like these two, you can see these are actually, part of the body. It's metal. So that's a little disappointing that they kind of downgraded on that, but still cool. So let me know also in the comments below, which is your favorite Alfa Romeo? Kareem here has the vinyl top as well. She's got a license plate, BG7320J. Don't know what that means either. Need to do some research for sure. And last but not, actually no, there's two more. Here is Sean Crash, my bad. Sean Crash is kind of the most boring Alfa Romeo because he doesn't have really any gimmick to him. He was released in a 2-pack. It's funny that literally all the Alfa Romeos that have been released, except for Celine Defer, who is kind of a, I don't know, she's a knockoff Alfa Romeo in my opinion. But these other ones all were released in 2-packs, and Kathy was going to be released in a 2-pack. That is actually kind of interesting to think about. Kathy has different tires and rims than all three of them here, and they all have the same. And let's check out his license plate. His is also, can't understand what that would mean either. So here's Celine Dufair. She does not have the Alfa Romeo typical logo, but I'm pretty sure she still is one. I don't know though. She's just weird all around. But yeah, I think she is. She's got those designs back there like we saw in Kathy and the others, and the gas cap in the same spot. Well, that is pretty much it for the Alfa Romeos, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. You guys have been giving me a ton of support lately, and I did just hit 50,000 subscribers, and I am through the roof. Yesterday was a super busy day for me when I actually hit the count, and so I didn't get to celebrate in the moment. But today, I'm just kind of letting it absorb in. I'm really thinking how, wow, I can't believe I hit 50,000 subscribers. My growth rate definitely increased because of quarantine. There are silver linings. A lot of people are watching YouTube more now than they used to, and that, I'm not saying, it's a good thing, not really a bad thing, just kind of a thing. And hopefully things go back to normal, but I am enjoying this time with family, enjoying this time to make a ton of videos for you guys. Every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, you'll see a new video on my channel until I go back to college. I promise you, unless something crazy happens, or if I get sick or something, God forbid, let's hope not, or my family gets sick as well. But I'm going to try my best to just, make this quarantine, as good as it can be for you guys by making a ton of videos. And I appreciate the support you guys have given me in return. 50,000 subscribers is something I've never hit, I never thought I'd hit before. And, I just saw it. I was like, I can't believe, did I actually hit it? Never thought I would. A few months ago, I had 45, and I just can't believe I'm already here. So I didn't really have much time to plan a special, but there will be a special for sure. I haven't done a subscriber milestone special since 1,000, I think, or 10,000. So this will be awesome, guys. I am so pumped. I hope you guys are looking forward to the special. Give it a couple weeks and it'll be there for you on your front doorstep. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments which Porto Corsa car is your favorite, because now we actually have quite a few. This is literally like the rich gang. Honestly, look how wealthy these guys all look to you. Oh my goodness. I might do a video on Eric Wheely because he's canceled as well. So I'll see you guys on Thursday for the 2020 singles case G unboxing, assuming it actually arrives. Bye now. Who stuck around to the end of the video to see my amazing yacht?